Okay, so good evening everyone. Last class we discussed of how to change the password once you log in from the application in this case. So ಇವತ್ತಿನ class naga we are concentrating on the drop down list in this case. Like ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು actually when we were concentrating on the database management DBMS ನೋಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ we created dependent tables and master tables and dependent table master table in data now dependent table ID ಅಂತೇಳಿ we were storing the data in this case. So today's class we are actually modifying many things in this case. Yakandra let us run the application. Let me open the application first. In the table that we had created for your application, that is college, we have only one table that is created till now in this, that is TBL student admin bekagilla. But TBL student ali what we are doing is we are actually, let me show you the design. Here we are taking the information of the student like his name, mobile number, password, email ID. The most important is the course name in this case. So course name, of course, I have used a drop down list to retrieve the data in this case. But drop down list use ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ the problem there is, of course, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ static storage or static initialization. That means directly we have written that inside the form page in this case. Like when we go to the TBL student register, the first problem is we have created these course names and we have statically fixed the values. ನಾಳೆ ನಂಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೊಸ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಗೇನ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಓಪನ್ ದ ವೆಬ್ ಪೇಜ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು add the value inside this, then put it inside the server. And this will never happen every time because ಈಗ ಇದು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ನ ಒಬ್ಬ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿನಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ the customer don't want to visit me every time in this. He will expect that these course names should be added by himself. Okay, so he don't want to, every time he comes to me I charge him for adding these things, so he don't want that option. So adar salvaga we have to now create one separate table. Of course, I told you about the foreign key attribute and all such things. We have to do that particular operation in the today's class in this case. So it will be a bit lengthy and a bit technical point of view concept in this case. So first, TBL student, right click on this, go to designs, and design we have taken course name, and there we have stored the course names which I don't want in this case. So instead of course name it should be course ID. And second is of course data type in this case. Illi data type bandu actually it should be integer. Okay, course ID should be stored in this case, but problem is I cannot directly enter the value because alli course ID bandaga the data inside that is a numeric value. So course names store agava, so it will not allow me to convert the data type into integer in this case. So what we are going to do is, let me delete all the data from the table. And now I will change this to int, save. Okay, next I need to create one more table in this case where I will be creating the master table for course. So in that it will be having two columns, course ID, int, course name, varchar of some 100, and course ID shall be the primary key attribute. And save the table. I'll give the table name as TBL MST course. Okay, and now I have to link the course name with the student in the foreign key concept in this case. So adak matte TBL student design hogre, course ID, this will be the foreign key in this. So relationship ge hogtivi, add in the table and column specification, click on this. On the left side, primary key table. Primary key table means our master table in this TBL MST course. Which column in that? the column name is course ID. Foreign key table is TBL student. Name of the column is again course ID. So find that course ID is here. Click on OK. And then you click on close and save this. It will say that there will be changes in 2 tables. Just click on yes, and now the table is created. Of course, idu aldene we have to make many changes in the procedure. Yakandra stored procedure we had written where we had passed the course name as a string value. So now it should be changed to integer in this case. So let us go to the programmabilities, stored procedure. Here, of course, first one is a insert. So insert student naga, this will be changed. So right click, modify, and changes here. Instead of this p underscore course name, I have to take it as course ID, and instead of varchar it will be integer. No need to mention the parameters in this. And while inserting the data also, here it will change. Instead of the already error torso because that column name does not exist. So course ID, and here also we change the name to course ID. So this change we have to do in the stored procedure, and just execute it once again. Just compile it, no issues, and modify ಆಗ್ತದ. That has changed. When we are updating the student details, so right click on this again, procedure yakadra. Are we taking the course name? No, we are not taking the course name. Fine. Select time. Okay, now there will be a change in this because get student details, get student based on mobile number is there. Just modify. If you are using the course name here, no, we are not using the course name. That is fine. Search student details, modify. We are taking the course name, I believe. Yes. Okay, now course name tagoliyativi, change it, use inner join concept to retrieve the course ID in the course name in this case. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ inner join concept ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ. Say student details naginda I will call it as student details sd dot. SD is the alternate name for which I will give it for TBL student. I mean student details. Course I will give MC, that is master course dot course name. Address again sd dot, created on sd dot, TBL student as sd, inner join TBL MST course, I'll call it as MC because I'll alternate MC use madini. Instead of where, it will be on condition. sd dot soft delete, then sd dot sname equal to sname is fine, gender is again sd dot. Okay, so now this is a change in the stored procedure. Execute this. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇಟಾಬೇಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ should be done in that way. Since it was like learning procedure, I had to first show you the simple execution, then I had to modify here. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಉಲ್ಟಾ ವರ್ಕ್ in this case. Now we have one more stored procedure. Let me check with that. If I'm using the course name in this, no, we are not using this. Search, modify, search, we have done the changes just now. Insert is over. Get student details, let us see if we are using, yes, ilno get student now we are using that. Again we have to make use of the joins concept in this case. So same procedure, sd dot sd dot sd dot sd dot mc dot sd dot and again sd dot from TBL student as sd, inner join TBL MST course MC, where sd dot soft delete equal to 0, where badlu it will be on. Now execute, just compile it, execute. So we have modified the stored procedure in this case. Next, student mobile, just have a check. We are not using the course name anywhere. Student login use ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. Delete also we are not using the course name in this case. So all done in this. We have executed, so no need to save the stored procedures. So we have since used all this stored procedure direct execute ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. So I need not save those stored procedures here. And close out this. Of course, new real time ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದಾಗ one more change you have to do is you have to create a master table. You have to create a web page for storing the course name in this case. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟೈಮ್ ಉಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. I will insert the values directly in that table, that is tbl mst course, and you can go for edit top 200 rows. I'll insert the course name in this. And okay, we made a one more mistake. Design naga keep the course name as id as identity property set madre. So go to identity property is identity yes, so that I need not insert the id also in this. So id is inserted. Okay, now just refresh once, execute ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. This will be, I can't insert values here, it will automatically increment. I'll just insert the values. Say we have BCA, next I have BSc, next I have BE, next is MCA, MSc, MTech, and that's it. Yeah, MSc, MCA, fine. So we have these values in this case. Ega, let me execute this. Fine. So now the point is now I have the data inside this. Select start from anta table kottaga I get this data. These data must be loaded inside my drop down list. So drop down list naga we will not manually insert the values like this. It will be a empty drop down list. How do I retrieve that and put it inside the drop down list is what we will be concentrating now. Okay, and even since we have made changes, we have made many changes actually. View code na hogtini, because here while sending the data we have to even change the code also here, because student course. Okay, so ddl course dot selected item dot text ತಗೊಂಗಲ್ಲ, it will be the value in this case. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ value ಒಳಗ we will be giving the id of that particular course, so that will be passed as a parameter. And here now it is no more a string parameter, it will be a integer parameter in this case. So integer course ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ I have to convert it to integer. ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1 2 3 4 ಇರ್ತವ, so that should be converted. The id is course id ಇರ್ತದ, that is converted to integer and that is passed as a parameter here. And ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೂ change ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಈಗ. That is, click here, I'll go to that function, and here I was passing integer till now for course id. Now it will be a integer value. And when you are giving the parameters also, there also it will change. Like here I was giving course name, illi change madidada, I have put it now as course id. And here it is not varchar anymore, it is a int. Okay, so this was one change. Next we will concentrate on class files. Usually we have to check all the class files. Insert code we have changed. Select code I am not mentioning anywhere with the course name. We'll check with soft delete also we are not using. Update nagunu we are not using the course name anywhere in this case. Okay, so I'll just insert naga, it was a one change in the insert code in this. Now when I run the application, I want the application to be executing with the student register page. So now what I will do is I'll keep the registration page as default page for the time being. So TBL student register, right click, set as start page, run the application. Okay, so here I need to load all the values from the drop down from the TBL MST course and put it inside the course in this case. So idin madliki page load aad takshana the values should be retrieved in this case. So what I have to do, first we have to create one procedure as usual. ಆ procedure naga now course name ಮತ್ತು course ID retrieve ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರಬೇಕು. So for that create a procedure, say get sp underscore get course list. You can give any name you want. No parameters required in this case. As select course name अथवा say course ID comma course name from TBL MST course semicolon go select and execute. ಇಲ್ಲಿ most important, change the database. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ master table ಹೋಗಿ ಕೂತ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. So I want it in college. Now I have given all the values. Execute the query and the query is completed. The stored procedure is created. Just alone refresh ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ now you can see you have get sp get course list in this case. Okay, next go to your application page, student register page open ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. page naga data load ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ I need to retrieve the course names. So what I have to do here is very simple. You have to first retrieve the data, put it inside the drop down list in this case. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ select code ಇಂದ ಒಂದು object create ಮಾಡ್ಕೊರಿ. sc is equal to new sc, and next is data set nagin data ತಗೊಂಬರ್ಲಿಗತ್ತನ. So I need to have data set object, data set ds equal to sc dot, okay, sc small letters, so I would be a better option here, also small letters. Sc dot, I will say load course list, a function any name you can give. I load course list ante function call ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, and I have to create a function for this. The function will be created inside the select code and put a semicolon. Next we'll go to that particular function, select course naga. Now we'll go to the select course load. Here same thing, ಮ್ಯಾಲಿದ್ದದ್ದೇ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಡೇಟಾ ಏನು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೋಡಿಗೆ ಬರ್ದಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಾಪಿ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್. just change the name of the procedure, just change the procedure name. No parameters required, nothing here. So I have given the procedure. So our data retrieve ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, retrieve ಮಾಡಿ the data will be sent back to the page load in this case. So now dataset has all the course ID with the course name. Suppose our data ittu ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು database ನಾಗ we have to load, I mean drop down list ಒಳಗೆ we have to load the data in this. How we do that? Very simple. If ds dot tables of 0 dot rows dot count, I have told you ಯಾವಾಗೆ ನೀವು ಡೇಟಾ ಸೆಟ್ ನಾಗಿನ ಡೇಟಾ ನೀವು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕತ್ತಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ you must always set the count the number of rows in this case. Rows count ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, count ಮಾಡಿ you have to put it inside the drop down list in this case. Drop down list ಅಥವಾ grid view, whatever you have. Next, ಈಗ the data set ಒಳಗೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ there are two methods in this case. The first method is using a for loop, which is very simple, loading the data in this, ಅಥವಾ directly initializing the values to the drop down list in this. We will see how we do that. First one is ddl course dot data source ante ಒಂದು ಬರ್ತದ, like we had in the grid view naga grid view dot data source ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯೊಳಗ we have data source equal to ds dot tables of 0 semicolon. But problem ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ we have to set the id separate, value separate. So this method is not that preferred option in this. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಬರೀ id ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, we use a simple for loop for int I equal to 0, I less than ds dot tables of 0 dot rows dot count I plus plus. That is what I am doing here is ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಡೇಟಾ ಸೆಟ್ನಾಗ there are 4 rows ಅವ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 4 times the loop should run. And what I am doing inside this is very simple, ddl course dot items dot add. And if you remember, now when I was explaining you the concept of drop down list tag, dynamically add ಮಾಡೋದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. That is done through the add function in this case. ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಡೇಟಾ ಸೆಟ್ನಾಗಿನ ಡೇಟಾ ತೊಗೊಂಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ds dot tables of 0 dot rows of I and 1 dot toString. Now you may ask me, sir, what is that rows of I and 1? Let me show you in this case. I'll first execute this query. You'll get to know in this case. ಈಗ ನಂದು ಡೇಟಾ ಸೆಟ್ನಾಗ ಡೇಟಾ ಹೆಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಟೈಪ್ನಾಗ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಟೈಪ್ನಾಗ ಬಂದಾಗ 0th ಕಾಲಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಐ ಡಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನೇಮ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಆ್ಯಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನೇಮ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ರೆಫರ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ರೋ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೋ 1, ರೋ 2, ರೋ 3, ರೋ 4, ರೋ 5, ರೋ 6. that is controlled by the loop. ಲೂಪ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಐ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 0, 1, 2, 3 ಹೋಗ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಐ 0 ಇದ್ದಾಗ ರೋ 0 ಒಳಗೆ he is bringing column number 1. row 0 is 1, that is this one is a row 0. column number 1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ BCA ಬರ್ತದೆ. next again I go back I increments, in this case I value is 1 now. so 1 1 1 1 means row is first row, that is row index 1 and value is BSC. next I value again gets incremented. now I value is 2 and column is 1. so I value is 2 ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 0 1 2, column is 1 BE. so these are added inside the items in this, inside the drop down list in this. ಈಗ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಒಂದು ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ddl course dot items of I, okay, dot value equal to, I will take the same data, paste it here. instead of 1 it is 0. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ I told you, you can see in this ID is in 0th column, names are in first column. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ add ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. items of I dot value ಒಳಗೆ we add the value property in this. and even this also same, I value 0 ಇದ್ದಾಗ 0th column means 1, I value 1 ಆಗ್ತದೆ, column is 0 means it is 2. so IDs are added in this particular list. so ಈ ರೀತಿಯೊಳಗೆ we dynamically add the items inside the drop down list in this case. okay, so add ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು it will add the text that you see on the drop down list. value property, that is a value assigned to those items in this case. just save the application, run the application, and you will see the difference. so when I run the application, now you can see register naga, you can see here all the course names are added in this case. Adra it's not final, we have to make some changes in this. ಏನು change, ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಂಗೆ BCA ಬರಬಾರ್ದು, it should say me select row, ಓಕೆ, ಅಥವಾ select course name ಅಂತ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಅದ್ರ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ ಲೂಪ್, ಹಿಯರ್ I will put one message, that is ddl course dot items dot add inside this I will give a message select course. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಒಂದೇ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಇನ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹಾಕಿದರೆ ಮುಗಿಯಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಶುಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಬಿ ಆ್ಯಡೆಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅಟ್ ದ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ 0. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಈಗ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವಿಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ddl course dot items of 0 dot value I will give it as empty. So select course ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 0 ಬರ್ತದೆ, and after that we have all these data in this case. So for this next data, that is ಇಲ್ಲಿ I is not 0 now, it should be I plus 1. Understand this, why I have given I plus 1. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಐಟಮ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ 0th ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 0th ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ನಾಗ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಡೌನ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಐಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಈಸ್ ಆ್ಯಡೆಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1. ಸೊ ಇದು ಅದ್ರ ಸಲುವಾಗ 0 plus 1 ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ರೋ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಆ್ಯಡೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯೊಳಗೆ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್. Save this and refresh the web page. And when we refresh the web page, now it will take some time. Now you can see select course, and after that we have all the items in this case. Clear with this point? I hope no doubt in this stage at least. Now you people are almost 2 months working with .NET, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ level will increase in this case. And one more thing I told you, ಯಾವಾಗೆ ನೀವು ಪೇಜ್ ಲೋಡ್ನಾಗ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಗ್ರಿಡ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪೇಜ್ ಲೋಡ್ನಾಗ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈಸ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಕಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಒಂದು ಯೂಸರ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, that is protected void load course list, one user defined function. ಆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, and this function will be called in the page load, and that too inside if not of is post back. ಇದು not of is post back I had explained to you people in the drop down list concept in this case, grid view concept update ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದಾಗ I had explained in this case. So not of is post back event ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊರಿ, ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು is post back does not exist. Okay, so not of is post back ನಾಗ ಅಂದ್ರೆ the course list must be loaded only one time. ಓಕೆ, ಅದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪೇಜ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಆದಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಲೋಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಈಸ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಡೂ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ರೈಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್. ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬಿಟ್ ಟ್ರಿಕಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಈಚ್ ಲೈನ್ ದಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ರಿಟರ್ನ್. ಓಕೆ, now let us run the application. So let me run the application and just make sure that the data gets saved in this, because we have done many changes to the backend, and even we don't have any records in the database. And enter the password, mobile number is fine, course I'll take BE, address not compulsory, so click on OK. Registered successfully, the data is saved in this case. Sir, I don't trust you in this ಅಂತಂದಾಗ you can run the another page where I can retrieve the data. In this case data retrieve ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ we have a page that is FRM student display details. Just fetch all the data from that table. So here it should show me the data. It has displayed so many times in this. The reason is, in the stored procedure we have not given the primary key attribute is matching with the ಫಾರಿನ್ ಕೀ ಆಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇನ್ನರ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ನಾಗ ವಿ ಫಾರ್ಗಾಟ್ ಟು ಡೂ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್, that is get student details, yes, modify, ಬರೀ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ. ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಗಿವ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್. ಇನ್ನರ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ನಾ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಕೀ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಕೀ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಕಂಪೇರ್ಡ್. ಅದು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್. ಸೊ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಅ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಸ್ ಡಿ ಡಾಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಐ ಡಿ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎಮ್ ಸಿ ಡಾಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಐ ಡಿ. So this is one condition that we have to put, and let me execute this. Okay, idu innond kade use madligathívi. Let me have the same condition there also so that it will work fine. Execute. No inner join here. Student login alla. Search, I think it is in the search itself. Yes. So here of course there are other conditions in this. Adar joti idu compulsory, these two must match. Execute. Okay, now let me just refresh the web page. You will get only one record in this. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಕೀ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಕೀ ಆಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ರೀಸನ್ ಸಲುವಾಗ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಶೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್. Now it is showing just one record on the web page. So like this, the same way you keep inserting in this case, and it will keep displaying the new records. I'll take one more, Sachin 96320295756. Password I'll keep Sachin. Email ID sachin@gmail.com. I think password I'll rewrite again. Mail so MSC address empty. Just go there, refresh the page. Now we are getting a suitable value in this. So ee reetiyolaga a very simple method of loading the data directly inside the drop down list. ಈಗ ನಾಳೆ ನನಗೆ if the user says, of course we create a front end for that, ನನಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ಯದ, ಡಿಪ್ಲೊಮಾ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್. ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆರಿ, ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್ ನೋ ಹೌ ಟು ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್. ನಾವು ಐ ನೀಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕೋಡ್, ಡೇಟಾಬೇಸ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಹಿಯರ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ DIPLOMA ಡಿಪ್ಲೊಮಾ ಇನ್ CS and I'll save this. I've not changed anything in the database. Add this DIPLOMA in CS, or you can even write a query for storing the data in this. And here I'll just refresh the web page, and inside this, okay, the primary key attribute is the issue. Let me run the application. Now you can see diploma in CS is automatically added in this case. So ಈ ರೀತಿಯೊಳಗ ನಾವು ಡೇಟಾಬೇಸ್ನಾಗ ಏನೇ ಡೈನಮಿಕಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ that will automatically be retrieved and it will be displayed to the user in this. So this is how we can dynamically load the data, and it will reduce the programmer's headache in this. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಸರ್ತಿ the programmer need not change in the database in the table. ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ನೀವು ಈ ಥರ ಡೈನಮಿಕ್ ಪೇಜಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಯೂಸರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಎಂಟರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಎಂಡ್. ನಾಳೆ ನನಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಐದರ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಇಟ್, ಎಡಿಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಆರ್ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆರಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ so that I need not make any change to the coding part in this. So this is also very frequently used. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಡೈನಮಿಕಲಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು is very commonly used in the applications in this case. Okay, so any doubt in this you can ask.